Hello there, Dan the Weatherman here. Hey, welcome to my weather show. This is my global edition where I take a look at things going on around the globe. It's been quite a week with the unprecedented heat across western parts of North America. You would think things will quieten down. The intense heat will do, but as is always the case these days across the globe, there is always temperatures warmer than normal somewhere and some heat, and that is the case. Looking at the temperature anomalies right now over the entire globe, there seems to be a lot more orange and red, and that is the case. Still warmer than normal, if you can believe it, over western parts of North America. That big mountain of warm air has eased somewhat. Some of that heat actually is tracked across and will be heading towards parts of Greenland. Unnecessary warmth for them there over the course of this week. Scandinavia, they will be being well above normal, temperatures into the 30s, as will be the case in Siberia. At the same time, further south in winter, things have been really hot and cold, literally. You've got very warm seas in the southern Atlantic. That's deepened some of the lows more than normal, allowing them to go barreling into the ice continent, Antarctica, with their warm air, blobs of warm, and then at the opposite, you get surges of cold coming out the other side, and another surge of cold will head towards New Zealand with another wintry blast over the course of the week. The jet stream, of course, that's been the culprit behind a lot of things these days. Used to be like a flexible piece of bamboo, now it's like a wiggly piece of spaghetti. That causes a lot of the extremes, where you get lows just sitting for days causing significant rain, or in our case in Western North America, the jet stream was well north, allowing warmth to go in and build into that mountain of warm air. That jet is still way north, but you just won't have the parameters like last week. There'll actually be some changes coming in from Alaska. Some energy will track its way to western parts of the British Isles, bringing them more wet weather. And speaking of wet weather, there's been a slow-moving, very active jet stream across parts of Japan that's brought some half a metre of rain. It's brought mudslides, and there's actually more significant rain with the same slow-moving but active jet stream going through the course of this week as well. This is the rainfall here. This is the satellite estimate. Japan, you can see the outlines of there. This is China, mainland China. And that, of course, is the rainfall. And if you look at the gauge up there, in millimetres, there it is, almost close to 500 millimetres over the span of 7 days. Of course, that makes the ground so unstable to bring those slips. Back to North America, talking about that heat. Not as intense as the past week, but this red here is temperatures still into the 30s and 40s. These are daytime highs. Some of that warmth goes towards Greenland. Notice how you see the greens. I mentioned it going to Scandinavia. This is the sequence running through the course of the week. Still above normal, and you look at that warmth, look at the blobs of red there over northern Europe. And you see that white? That's temperatures over northwest Africa. There, 40, even close to 50 degrees. Now, zooming into parts of North America, one particular thing to point out, of course, hurricane season, Tropical Storm Elsa. It was briefly a hurricane. It was battling some increased shear, but now it's in a zone of pretty favourable shear where the green is here. This might look like a weird map. That's the coast of America. Florida is there. Red is high shear. Yellow is moderate, green is okay, but it's just sort of faded for the time being as it interacts with some of the islands sitting to the east of Hispaniola. Cuba there, but it's some very, very warm seas. So even though it's a tropical storm, over the coming days, it's something the southeast of the US and even Cuba will need to keep an eye on. There it is there, and you can watch how this thing tracks over the coming days. Tracking across Cuba, some very high mountains there. That will sort of shear away the bottom, chew it up a little bit, weaken it. Still be something to contend with in the very, very warm seas over southern parts of Florida going into Tuesday, perhaps Wednesday. It may even surge, may even intensify back into hurricane, something to watch there. All the while, western parts of the US continue with the big mountain warm air, hot and dry. Not the case, though, over western parts of Europe. Not for the British Isles. It's a bit like gum, chewing gum stuck to the back of the shoe. Can never get rid of it, the British Isles. And, of course, rain there with low pressure working in from the Atlantic. Not doing well timing-wise for sporting events. Wimbledon will have some interruptions, no doubt, with rain there going through the first part of the week. That will start to ease probably by Thursday. But for the Euros, the football tournament, that won't be, no, that won't be a welcome sight until the ridge builds in. This wet weather will then track to central and eastern parts of Europe for the second half of the week. There's that ridge probably by Thursday with some quieter weather to work its way in. Now we head to New Zealand and Australia. Remember the wintry outbreak I mentioned for New Zealand? They'll get that, and you can watch that cold blast come through. These are the temperatures, orange above normal. That's how the week starts. And then the colder southwest blast, boom, straight in. Snow to several hundred meters there. At the same time, a warm flow with air coming out of the tropics will give Australia the complete opposite. Temperatures there could be well into the middle 30s to the far north and west as we finish off the course of the week. Certainly quite a change for them. That's how we're looking for now. See you guys again soon. Bye-bye.